What is up with it? Today we are going to be watching some of Holden Miller's gameplay. This was actually requested by a viewer. This is one of my viewers, Soupy a Dig. He's in the Discord. Um, Great guy. He's going to be playing Holden Miller, who will be on Purple Black Luffy. To be honest, when this was requested, I thought that this was going to be a Blue Doflamingo mirror match, but I'm excited to watch Purple Black Luffy. This is definitely the deck that I am most excited for. Yo, huge fan. Been in the stream a few times. Me too, man. Me too. Huge fan. Shout outs Holden. Go check him out on Twitch, on Twitter, at FlyestRaven. Alright, so Soupy won the rock, paper, scissors and chose to go first. Holden mulliganed. We're going to go ahead and start off with a Perona. Pretty much the ideal start if you are Soupy. Starting with Teach in this matchup is not quite as good as it is in a lot of matchups because Luffy is a removal deck. You know, he plays black, he plays things like Top Knot. That Teach isn't necessarily always going to stick. Particularly because the Luffy can do things like play Top Knot, get 2 Dawn back, and then still play a 3-drop that turn. Okay, we are already starting with an incredible start from Soupy. Holden electing to counter out, I imagine, to respect Pudding. I imagine we'll swing 6. Soupy's going to go ahead and counter that. And we'll see if he knows the top of his deck still. This is an odd first swing. I'm not exactly sure why we are not... Okay, that would be why. Because we're playing Boa and we're going to swing 7 3 times. So that's very reasonable. I imagine as Holden will either... We're either going to block and counter or we're going to take and counter. Okay, it looks like he's going to take and counter. Frankie being a 5-drop because of your leader effect is a pretty big deal. Honestly, not in love with turning this Frankie sideways, I don't think. Feel like if your opponent is able to successfully counter, yeah, then we are kind of in a scary position now because they're going to get to swing big 3 times. We didn't even necessarily leave a Dawn up because we couldn't. Oh, okay, they're not swinging big 3 times, which is actually kind of nice for us because they could have genuinely put us to 0 and they low-key still could. So far, though, Doffy is just kind of showing why it's really hard to be a 4-life leader. Because they do this to you, where they go Perona and then they play all the good cards. So maybe you could make an argument that turning the Frankie sideways was correct. But surely we can't do it again, I reckon. And our opponent didn't have any 2Ks last turn, which leads me to think that they won't here. And they don't. Okay, so there must have... Okay, just grabbing a 2K. Makes it feel like Soupy could potentially be running out of gas, though this is leaving 7 Dawn up kind of makes me think he just has another Boa, to be honest with you. Yeah, never mind. I mean, sometimes you see good cards and you play versus a bad deck and you just kind of roll them, so. Not sure this will end up being a great match as we are just putting them to 0. And we have seen, oh man, 12, 17, 23. We've seen at least 30 cards deep in our deck at this point. So we should have a fairly decent idea of where Perfume is. Hard to say if this player is on 1 or 2, but 2 has definitely been getting more popular. Gave us the 2K. I'm not sure I'm absolutely in love with that unless we're also going to counter out of another one, which it looks like we were. But, I mean, it's not unreasonable to say that Holden could have swung 7 there. But yeah, this was kind of just a game of Soupy able to play his good cards and then also just have the counter he needed to protect those good cards. And Holden just kind of trying to tread water, which he does have not the worst amount of counter in hand, but he's also staring down, at least 4 swings. I wonder if there's ever an argument, and this is going to sound crazy, to just swing 6 times in leader effect. There's probably not, to be honest. But maybe we think about it right after we see the end of this. We're just going to go 7-7. Okay. So I just kind of want to look at the spot and just talk about it briefly because there wasn't nothing too interesting. Okay, so like, what if we just attached 3 here, attached 3 here, attached 2 here, leader effect, and like 1 here. So that's 3, 6, 9, 10. So we go like 5, take a card, 5, take a card. This is also probably more relevant in a world where he has multiple Dawn up. Like with only 1, we know there's only 1 Gum Gum, but like let's imagine there's like 2 Dawn. We go like 5, take a card, 5, take a card, 6, take a card, 6. If he has like 2 Gum Gum, that 6 is like so unbelievably annoying. And then 7, again, pretty annoying. And then 7. Because let's think, does our line have guaranteed lethal of doing 4 big swings if he has 2 Gum Gum? So we went 7 first, right? And I know he only has 1 active Dawn, but just thinking about conceptually, in a situation like this where you could do 6 swings, if your opponent is representing the Gum Gums, is it better to do as many swings as possible rather than, the more traditional I'm gonna swing 7s? So 7, let's say they go Gum Gum here, they still have 5 cards in hand. And then he can go like 9, 9, 8. So he goes 8, that trades with the Gum Gum again. And then, so yeah, if he had double Gum Gum and we do it like this, he like for sure survives. Which there was a Gum Gum. He trashed it. It's possible he could have had 2. If someone wants to write a master's thesis in the comments about kind of the idea that I'm talking about, exploring it, about whether it's optimal to do 4 swings in this position or to do 6 swings in this position if our opponent has 1 blocker, 5 cards in hand, and multiple Dawn up, I'd love to hear about it. I really would. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.